Welcome back to our channel. Today we'll reveal some quirky treatments for patients, and it's a story that will have you rolling with laugh. This doctor is so creative, he tried to give patients an emotional bath through painful memories. The outcome's obvious. The head nurse was all smoke, but quiet Morpheus was having none of it. He didn't want to see his friends treated like playthings. The next day, Morpheus shouted, "Since the head nurse loves storytelling daily, why not watch games together? Guaranteed smiles." This would definitely lighten the mood for his friends, and as he faced the nurse's arguments, he thought, no matter how good your storytelling is, who likes an emotional roller coaster? Morpheus thought these patients might not really get it, so when the schedule was being adjusted, the nurse suggested a let's vote approach. Morpheus thought, okay, let's give this a shot. But when it came time to vote, only two little hands timidly went up for him. Realizing he was still new and hadn't sorted out his standing, he decided to rally everyone for a poker game. Suddenly everyone felt like they had hidden talents and their fear of the head nurse vanished. He even bet he could get the nurse to go crazy. Morpheus placed a $1 bet, eager to get more people in on the action, determined to prove he wasn't just blowing smoke. He stormed into the nurse's station to turn off the annoying music and thought he'd surprise the incoming nurse. But the nurse didn't give him a chance at all. She just shoved him out, as if saying, "Out you go, buddy." Morpheus was furious, and seeing everyone bickering over the board game, he picked up a hose and went in to spray them down. He aimed to shock them with cold water, unlocking thoughts like, "Why twiddle our thumbs when we could be planning how to grab more power?" He said he'd sneak out for the game, but a patient stopped him with cold water. Hilarious. In this place, every day felt like being tied down, with no key to escape. It was literally hopeless. Morpheus had a plan for the friends' concerns, just move the sink and break the weakest window. Escape would be a breeze. But everyone was skeptical he could lift the heavy sink, so he decided to teach them a lesson with his actions. He tried his best to lift it, but it wouldn't budge. People thought maybe he'll give up. Yet he boldly declared, "This is just a warm-up," and went for the sink again. Ultimately, his face turned beet red, and he still couldn't budge the sink. Total reality check. Nonetheless, he could at least take pride in trying, and off went Morpheus with a mix of pride and regret, leaving his friends deep in thought. The next day, he sought out the patient known as Chief, wanting to build a bond, hoping to crack open his emotional vault. Chief seemed a bit slow on the uptake, but Morpheus was laser-focused, repeatedly demonstrating how to lift the ball. Eventually, Chief finally lifted the ball up to what a shining example. The Chief seemed unfazed, giving a kick to the nearby big guy before slamming the ball into the hoop. Instantly, he bridged a connection, but that patient quickly took flight, spiraling everyone around him. Morpheus watched in disbelief, thinking, well, this is one wild show. Meanwhile, the head nurse stealthily observed, curious about what he... During the story-sharing session, a young patient on the verge from the head nurse was saved when the supportive uncle suddenly appeared. He countered her. Why must we bring up what others don't want to discuss? There are plenty of other exciting topics to chat about. The head nurse argued that the purpose was treatment, not playtime, but the uncle shared the same sentiment, believing that a game could be the best medicine. Seeing endless debate, the head nurse called for a new vote. After teamwork, everyone trusted Morpheus unconditionally. But the head nurse still refused to concede. With only 9 votes in a room of 18 patients, it was hard to believe they were at a stalemate. He felt defeated, thinking this game was too difficult mentally as he sought help from others, yet they didn't understand him at all. The head nurse announced the meeting was over, and Morpheus noticed Chief in the corner, trying to teach him when to raise his hand, but he still looked utterly confused. Just as he was about to give up, a miracle happened. Chief seemed to get it and raised his hand. Morpheus cheered excitedly and rushed to ask the nurse to turn on the TV. The crowd's eyes sparkled with hope, only for the nurse to absolutely crush it by declaring meeting's over. What a mood! Morpheus protested fiercely, but the nurse dismissed it as histrionics, making every shout of his feel even more hopeless. He sat there, dumbfounded, staring at the TV. Suddenly, inspiration struck, and he began narrating a baseball game out of nowhere, completely captivating his fellow patients. Although they had no clue what was going on, they were slowly swept away by his wild enthusiasm, feeling like they were watching an epic game themselves. The nurse watched silently, realizing for the first time that Morpheus was a real threat. She angrily ordered everyone to stop what they were doing. The next day, she spotted a squirrel climbing the wire fence, and a bold idea sparked in her mind. She decided to take a bunch of patients out for some fun, thinking, this will be a blast. She summoned the tallest chiefs, using their strength to lift her up one by one, and ultimately, Morpheus successfully leaped over the barbed wire fence, touching the enchanting world beyond. He escaped this prison for the first time, and the chief behind him beamed with a long-lost smile. Just as the orderly prepared to take the patients out for some fresh air, Morpheus quickly snuck into the van. He drove off. Patients on board were stunned, but the town's hustle and bustle brought a fresh experience. He pulled over at a roadside, and from the back, he brought a girl his date. Today, they were off to the ocean to fish together. What a low-key luxury experience.